Hey guys, Mumbles here with another New World video, and today we're going to go over the lore, and it's also going to be introductory into our lore series that we're going to do. So first off, today we're going to talk about what we can expect from the lore in the future, and then we're also going to do a series of lore pages, just kind of talking about each individual kind of lore section. So I'm kind of excited about this. I really love the lore in this game. I loved reading some of the pages. I'm not going to break anything beforehand because we're gonna have a whole series that goes through all the lore of New World by each individual set of pages. So what we're gonna mainly talk about today is what we know already, what we can expect, and what we're gonna know in the future, and hints at whether there are gonna be some world bosses, new areas, that kind of stuff coming up in the future. In the background, we're also gonna see a couple of the open beta gameplay, as well as we're also gonna show the video that New World came out not too long ago about cultures and Asian cultures. And if you guys like this video, don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell so new videos do go up. And when we do go live, we will be on launch the 28th for New World. Super excited. I'm honestly probably not going to sleep. We may do a super long stream that day and just bang it out and rush as fast as possible. We are getting into the company with Rockbomb and a bunch of other streamers and other communities as well, and we're looking to push that as far as possible, as quick as possible, so that we can get some territories and get some war going on, some content for you guys, get some expeditions going. I'm super hyped. We have a lot of plans for this. But thank you guys. Let's jump right in to the lore and what we can expect in the future. New World is full of lore, from the corruption and the power and the mysterious power that it has, to the lost, to the withered, to just about every aspect of the island in the game. There is so much lore to this, and there's so much lore that we don't know already. Unlike any other game that is well established, this is a brand new game, brand new lore. There's so much mystery, so much we don't know about the game. And frankly, I'm quite excited to kind of learn what's going to happen in the future. But we do have some hints. There's a lot of pages around the island when you're exploring that kind of puts you to believe that there is some way either off the island, that there's other kind of cultures here. And I'm kind of excited to see what cultures they bring in. They've already said multiple times that they want to bring in a group of a bunch of different cultures into the game, which I'm super excited for, because obviously culture is just something that we live day to day, and it's something that's fun to learn. And I'm kind of curious to see how they put it in this game. We've already seen this with Ebon Scale Reach, with the Empress and all that stuff. So as you guys can see in Ebon Scale Reach, there is a lot of Asian culture, I guess, aspects brought into this, with the buildings, the area that they are. It's just fantastic to see the area and the scenery of this place. Now, we do have the Empress, who did come here to in search of this power, and there are some groups that didn't necessarily come to search for this power. So we can expect that this person and the Empress is building a kind of fleet of ships to get off the island and move her people out of this area. And does this mean that she has a plan that could work to get off the island? I do believe at some point we're going to be able to get off this island and expand. However, we do have some areas in and on the island that leads to, we still have a large chunk of the island that we haven't even explored yet, which still gets me excited, because that means we have a lot more that we're going to come into the game and learn from, and get to see some new different areas and biomes and all that kind of stuff, which is always exciting to me. I love scenery. I love being able to look around. I do hope they bring in some armors and gear that is into these cultures as well, which I'm assuming they will, with the skins and all that kind of stuff. I'm hoping for some like samurai gear. I would love like a ninja outfit for like Egyptian kind of areas or Roman times. I would love more of that kind of armor and stuff like that. I would like to see new mobs. I'm sure there'll be new mobs in each area that are kind of standard to that area. I'm sure we'll see some like worms and some like mummies and stuff like that in the desert area. I'm sure like Ebon Scale there is like the special tiger and that kind of stuff as well. Now you guys have heard me talk a little bit about the Egyptian stuff and the, I guess, the desert area that I am talking about. Now here we do have the map of the island here, to the northwest of Brightwood. You do see this very, very coarse, like kind of white sand, which gets me thinking, is this a desert? And there is multiple pages talking about like the shifting sands and that kind of stuff, with more of the Egyptian artifacts that have come in. So I do think that this is a desert, and we're going to start seeing some Egyptian themed stuff come in with this area. Whether this will be like a buff to leveling and stuff like that, we don't know. You also see some roads here. There are roads that lead out to this area. So we do have a little bit of area there. We also can see up in the north, we do have a lot more places where roads are going to, but we can't get to. So I do expect to see a lot more areas that come in the future. Hopefully a lot more cultures. Maybe we see some groups. Maybe there's a war between the groups. We don't know. I'm super excited to jump into this and see what's happening. See if they have NPCs in those areas that can possibly bring some more culture and some more lore and stuff like that. Because after all, this area has drawn a ton of different cultures and people to this place for power. And this mysterious power that is held at Aeternum, people want to find this and take it for themselves. But then you get trapped here. Do one of these groups have a way to get off the island? My guess is the Empress has a hint at something, and we're going to learn more about ways off the island as more people and cultures come into the realm of Aeternum. So super excited to see this. I'm super excited to jump into this too. But yeah, there's just so much to this. Again, this is kind of just an introductory to New World's lore. So I do expect to see a lot more different cultures in this game. I do expect to see a lot more coming. I do expect them to expand on the lore incredible amount. And I'm super excited to see where the lore brings us in the storyline if we're able to get off this island and maybe the corruption gets out first and we have to chase it and beat it down. Or maybe one of these culture groups kind of get out of this island and maybe have something very special to the island that could cause more corruption around the world. We don't know what the scale is beyond this island. We can assume that it is contaminated to this island. However, we do have to assume at some point with expansions and stuff like that it's gonna get out, which I'm super excited for. Whether that brings kind of like sea-bearing fights and kind of content with like ships and stuff like that, or if it's just like a travel system, kind of like World of Warcraft. Now, obviously, getting off to the island, there is mysterious creatures in the mist. This is said all around all the lore pages around the island. There is creatures as far as serpents and giant monsters and just a bunch of random creatures that have been mentioned throughout the lore pages, which kind of I'm curious if those are going to be our world bosses. I'm super excited to kind of see what that stuff comes into. Because if we do get out of the circle, is that going to be a boss we're going to have to fight in order to get out of the mist around the island? I'm excited to kind of see this. You can see some of the markings and scratch marks on the ships themselves, on the shipwrecks in certain areas. So is this a hint of the different monsters in different areas? For instance, is the Reekwater wreckage has different markings as the Restless Shore. So are there two different monsters that kind of patrol the outer areas of the island in these areas? Because you can clearly see the different damages on the ships themselves. So that makes me think that we are going to have some world bosses be these giant monsters that are hiding in the mist. So what can you expect from this introduction into the lore series of New World? I'm going to go through and break down each section of the lore pages and kind of explain a little bit of what I think, what they're hinting at, what we might see, because I think the lore pages have a ton of hints of content that they're going to put in the game. Because, again, there's a lot of mysterious things on this island and around this island that could add endless content. And I really do think they have something going really, really well here. And I think that is going to be the key to finding out what's going to happen in the future. So I hope this video kind of helps you guys out. I hope this kind of intrigues you on what could happen in New World, what's going to happen, what we can look forward to. I'm excited about all the different cultures that we can come into. I'm excited about the monsters in the mist. I'm excited to see if we get off this island at all. Because if the corruption leaks out and gets to somewhere else and gets out of the mist and gets to like a land, like a continent, does this cause how bad is this going to be? Do we have to stop this? Are we going to be chasing the corruption? We don't know. All we know is there's going to be a lot added in this game just from how wide range the lore is. And I'm kind of excited to bring that to you guys and explain what the lore is, explain some of the pages, and show you guys what we can look forward to as well. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys drop a like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. See when we do go live. We will be live on the 28th for New World, and the day after, and the day after that. We are going to be grinding really, really hard the first few days. Try to get our company going and get pushing. Thank you guys for joining. Make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day. Goodbye. Deuces, y'all.